Mythical viewers of YouTube, what the crap's going on here of Ithaca here, and I'm going to be playing some Total War Troy today. That's right, it has landed on Steam, and there's a lot of updates coming to the game. I'm not going to talk about absolutely all of those today. I just wanted to get you a shot of some action in Total War Troy in the Mythos mode. So I teamed up with Jarl of the Appian Way, who honestly is probably the only YouTuber who's given Troy proper coverage all this time. I think it was awesome for CA to repay him by letting him get extra early access to this that he probably wouldn't otherwise normally have gotten. So he was kind enough to join me today. He makes multiplayer videos on his channel. He is a moderator on my Discord and has helped me out a ton. So I was very happy to get to play the game with him here early. He's going to play as Argos, and Ithaca is kind of like a guerrilla faction. They have light swords with javelins. They can deploy all over the place. And basically, I was going for some guerrilla shenanigans, and he was looking to repay the same using Argos. So let's jump in. Multiplayer is not something I have done really on this game at all, to be honest. In fact, these are some of my first multiplayer matches on the game, period. Holy crap, man, this game looks good. Looks real good. This is actually an improvement on the Warhammer engine from what we were told by CA. So hopefully they continue to make these improvements and we see something like this with Warhammer 3. Obviously, I got to play a survival battle in that game, and it did look pretty good, but this game really has some excellent looking maps and some well-designed multiplayer maps. So I'm actually going to talk about a few things real quick because our armies don't immediately clash because I was Vanguard deployed way off, and so yeah, we don't immediately clash. There's a lot of features on the water, on the map, like the shallow water. See here, this particular map, lots of shallow water. That has impacts on certain units. It slows them down big time going through it, and it applies certain penalties. So on this map, where you take a fight and what type of units you bring might play a big difference in the battle. So I want to say, for instance, chariots and heavy cavalry would get bogged down moving through the water. I'd have to go back and look at all that to be 100% certain, but certain things have quite a penalty, some don't. We are playing on the ultra unit sizes with the large funds setting. I will do it. And I've got some renowned island skirmishers. These are like a hybrid javelin tosser melee unit. They are hidden here, and they are with some young spears, and also hidden right here in this vicinity is Odysseus, which is my lord. He is armed with a bow, and his function is going to be basically shooting enemy infantry and then just trying to stay alive. So Odysseus is right in here. Yeah, here he is. There he is carrying his bow. So I've got Odysseus. I've also brought a lesser griffin, so I'll show this off because this is the whole reason we're here, right? This is one of the new mythological creatures I brought. So at this funds level, I was a little bit hard pressed to bring the big giant griffin, but I'll get you some nice shots here of the lesser griffin. And I'm going to use him to try and attack the enemy lord and keep him busy. As far as infantry goes, I've got some warriors of Ithaca, which is an elite medium infantry. This is definitely the best infantry that is on offer for my faction, for Ithaca. Probably one of the better infantries in the game, according to Appius, so I'm definitely glad to have them. They are mixed in with some heavy sword skirmishers. Very similar unit to the warriors of Ithaca, albeit not as powerful. However, they do carry the heavy weight class, and weight classes, I believe these are some of those heavy sword skirmishers. Man, look at the textures and the god rays and stuff on this game. Man, it looks really nice. These heavy sword skirmishers, having heavy units is nice because heavy cavalry and heavy chariots don't get near as good a charge versus heavy units. All of my infantry throw precursor javelins prior to combat, which is something a little bit unique to all the Ithacan infantry. So it's something that I'm hoping to take big advantage of here with being able to cause a lot of damage in melee. Now, I also have over here some renowned island skirmishers. Or sorry, I mentioned them. So here's where my renowned island skirmishers and my lord ended up. There's some centaur outriders, and these guys are actually centaurs now. You can see them here. They're proper centaurs, and I'm going to be skirmishing with them using some of my Arimaspoi skirmishers. So Here those guys are. Some pretty cool looking units. Actually had a crash there, so CA please. Anyway, it's good because it gives me an opportunity to go back. Well, I mean, it's not good because the game shouldn't be crashing, but it's good in the sense that I needed to go back and cover some of Appius's units as well prior to the infantry class, which was taking place. He's got a couple of units of these Spartoi, which are like a skeletal bone constructed unit here, and they are a mythological unit. Obviously, they behave more like something you see from the vampire counts. They have a crumbling mechanic, and just very interesting unit here. They've got some special abilities, like they can resurrect some of their unit models while getting some healing through a special ability. He's also got some Hydra defenders, so this is another specialty unit that comes alongside the Hydra. These are some poison spearmen, and as you can see, they are pretty awesome looking unit models. Let me get a good zoom in so you can kind of see them running past here. So yeah, there's some Hydra defenders. And as far as the Lord that Appius has brought, let me see if I can get you a look at him. It's Diomedes. Anyway, yeah, he's hidden in the long grass, so gotta watch out. Right up there with the Velociraptors. So anyway, let's take a look at the total army. He's also got some club warriors, and then some Argive slingers, which I believe are, I mean, they look like a pretty decent slinger. A little bit higher missile damage than I'm used to seeing. He's got some Argive slingers supporting the centaurs that I showed you all only moments ago. Here's another quick look at the centaurs. Obviously looking quite nice now. Anyway, I'm going to cover this flank. What you all saw earlier was I was using some skirmishing with my own skirmish cavalry, my slingers, my lords, stuff like that. But to start the infantry fight, I wanted to tie down Diomedes. I'm going to send my Lesser Griffin now. Mythical units in this game are not what they're like in Warhammer, like single entity monsters. Sure, they're strong, but they don't cause near the type of carnage and damage, at least from what I've seen so far, that they do in Total War. I've got a lot more studying to do of it. Here's my Warriors of Ithaca going toe-to-toe with his Hydra defenders. I'm going to get some sweet action started here, and then of course my heavy sword skirmishers also going toe-to-toe with Spartoi and with these Hydra defenders. I'm hoping to gain an advantage in the infantry fight. My Warriors of Ithaca, and indeed my Warriors of Ithaca are laying down a pretty solid smackdown on his Hydra defenders. Now my Griffin delay tactic was okay, but he supported with Spartoi and was able to get Diomedes free of my Lesser Griffin rather quickly, but I did get some damage done. If I end up in melee with Diomedes, with Odysseus, I'm going to die really quickly. You're going to see me use my renowned skirmishers here. I'm going to try and put some shots on Diomedes because javelins cause tremendous AP damage. He does have a shield, but if I can stick him with some javelins, I'll get even more hit points off of him, and I did. However, my units didn't skirmish away quite like I had hoped, and so they get caught momentarily, and I'm going to have to try and fix it. I'm going to have to run away with Odysseus. My Griffins come back from routing, so once again I can bring him in to keep Diomedes busy, and this time Diomedes doesn't have the Spartoi to help him. In the meantime, my Warriors of Ithaca did indeed finish their melee fight against the Hydra defenders and Spartoi, and I'm going to use them to do some outflanking. Flanking is a really big deal in this game, as it is with other Total War games. However, some units are immune to flanking, or the effects thereof, like these Spartoi, they're going to be immune to it. However, it doesn't make them immune to damage, per se. So as my units charge in here, should be able to get some good fighting going on with them. Let you all see these units up close. Meanwhile, the skirmishing phase, I used my Young Spears, which is a light spear unit. It is quite quick to run after the Argive slingers and try and throw Appius off balance. He is chasing me with some Night Runner light swordsmen that he had hidden somewhere. And I'm trying to save my Renowned Island skirmishers, because these are very powerful skirmishers. But the pursuing Spartoi is making it difficult. And also Diomedes is pursuing me now as well. So since my cavalry are no longer fixed with the centaurs, I'm able to bring my cavalry over and try and put some javelins into the back of Diomedes too. And what I'm doing is just trying to weaken up Diomedes as much as I possibly can and keep him busy. And then I want to get these Spartoi out of my renowned skirmishers, so I'm bringing some Warriors of Ithaca, and then I've got some heavy sword skirmishers ready to intercept Diomedes. I don't know that they're going to beat him in melee. In fact, I kind of doubt it. Look at how well these Spartoi are holding out after being outflanked. I mean, they were just straight up beating my heavy sword skirmishers. They're not beating my warriors of Ithaca though. So I'm going to get away with that when the Hydra defenders are coming back. Again, I was able to hold Diomedes here, and he is, I believe, using his Artesia to stay in this fight longer. I think that's what that glowing effect was, but it's over now. Could be wrong. Anyway, I'm trying to get a few javelin shots at him. I'm going to clear my heavy sword skirmishers out and try and continue to use javelin opportunities on him. So I'm going to bring my cavalry in for some point-blank shots. And we do hit him really hard right there. So you can see that Diomedes is in trouble. I've got Odysseus in good shape. I kept plucking at these Hydra defenders. He's gotten about 40 some odd kills, sitting infantry, and then that's going to be the end of Appius's army. You get a chain route, and I managed to pull out a victory on this one. He is a better player at this game than me, and yes, there were other battles that I played him, and I lost because he knows the game better than me. He wanted me to show this battle. He had some other ones I think he was going to show. Yes, I never show my losses. I know. That's just how I roll things. But in any case, I'm just making that clear. Appius is definitely a better player than me at this game. But Ithaca is the only faction that I have some of an understanding of, and honestly, I had to ask him quite a few tips anyway while I was building my army. So part of the reason I won here was because of following some of his advice, as it were. And if we take a look at some of my units, I got decent value out of my warriors of Ithaca. These guys put back at least as much gold value as I put into them. It's always nice to see. I got decent value out of one of my Renowned Island skirmishers, probably because it got some damage done on Diomedes. And then if I look at my cavalry, they paid off pretty nicely. The Griffin kind of paid for itself here. Didn't do spectacular. And then, of course, Odysseus wasn't doing much at all. The heavy sword skirmishers were probably a mixed bag. They probably did okay against the Hydra Spearmen, and they, I think, did rather poorly against the Spartoi. If we go look at those units, I don't remember the cost of these units, but Appius did get some pretty solid value out of this one right here. It got 1239. But as far as his other units go, they weren't able to rack up a lot of value. I've used the Hydra Defenders in a previous battle against Indie Pride. You should check out his channel too, because he's going to have some fun battles. And I played many battles against him. I didn't have very good luck with these Hydra Defenders, so I'm probably not using them right or just don't understand them right at the moment. The more likely cause here. But anyway, hopefully this gives you all a little bit of a look at the Mythos in Troy. I will go ahead and show you the custom battle screen here to kind of show you all the different mythical units. When you're playing battles, you can pick, which I can't show you anything from a historical standpoint, but you can pick historical. The truth behind the myth is what this game was before they made this update, and then mythological. But yeah, they've asked me not to go through any of the historical stuff yet. But in any case, the mythological side of things, there is a setting you can do in battle here where you can allow all mythological units, or you can just leave it to where there's the ones that are in, available to your faction. But you can do this, allow all. And in any battle, you can pick all these different mythological units. There's a bunch. You got harpies, centaur hunters, harpy fiends, centaur fighters, sirens. Like, these are like flying slingers. Centaur archers, giants. And they come in a lot of varieties, like scouts, skirmishers, vanguards for vanguard deploying. There's centaur warriors. We've got centaur lancers and centaur outriders. Centaur elders, which is like a really high tier bow cavalry. Got these Corybantes, which I think are lion units. There's the Spartoi that were being used by Appius. Anyway, Cyclops, Minotaur, and then in each of these mythical creatures that you can chase down in the campaign, in each of their trees, they kind of have like a slew of units that goes along with them. So like you saw in this battle, Hydra Defenders, which go along with the Hydra. And then you saw the Spartoi along with them. And then, of course, I was using the Griffin, and some of the Griffin units were those skirmishers that I brought on the horse. So it was pretty cool stuff. I was using this lesser Griffin. You can see the Griffin Patriarch is a much stronger unit, and even has some special abilities here as well. So yeah, but just because of the size of the battle we're in, that's what we excited to use. But yes, there's a lot of mythical creatures. It also adds a lot of abilities you can pick for your commander, which makes things more interesting, makes the whole thing have more of a mythological feel. Anyway, that's just a first look at it. I'll be talking more about it. I'm going to show you some campaign footage soon as well. So stick around for that. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I'll see you soon with some more action from Total War Troy Mythos update.